Hey guys, welcome back to B&B Farms, where our goal is to try and live in cooperation with our land and not just on it. You can see that muzzleloader on the table there beside me. That should give a pretty prominent clue as to what we're going to be doing today. A couple specs on the rifle. It is a CVA Wolf V2 fitted with a Vortex scope. That's a 4x12 by 44 millimeter. Very budget setup. I'm new to muzzleloaders. I don't know if this is something that I'm going to pursue, more in depth. But for right now, this is what I got. This is what we're going to be shooting. So let me take you down and show you what we're shooting at, and we'll get started. Thanks, guys. We're glad you're here. All right, so here's what we're going to be shooting at. It's a paper plate. That's an 1 3/4 black dot. The range we're going to be hunting at is almost 100 yards dead on, but right now this is set at 30 yards from the shooting bench. We're going to try to get on paper, and then we will dial it in from there. Here we go. Before we get started, take a look at this. This shooting bench, or this picnic table I'm shooting off of, is under a couple of oak trees. Take a look at the ground. Does that show up? Man, it is covered. Thousands of acorns. And they're still coming down. It might be a good time to wear a hat. We'll see. Real quick look at what we're going to be shooting. We've got some 245 grain powerboats. That's what I'm going to use to try to get on paper. My intent is to hunt with these 290 grain Hornady FTX Boredrivers. But actually, we'll hunt with whichever one groups best. We're going to be pushing them out with 2 pellets of Hodgdon 777. My plan is to run a patch through the bore after each shot. Probably a wet patch followed by a dry. We'll see how many it takes to get the bore clean. I figure opening day when I shoot, I want to be shooting a clean bore, so I'm trying to replicate that scenario as closely as I can. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's go see how we did. I can't tell. All right, shot number 2 coming up. I tell you what, that 777 is some dirty stuff. Can you guys see that patch? That is one wet patch down the bore. Wow. Shot number 2. I pulled that one. I bet that was a flyer. What do you think about that? Those holes are almost touching. I think we're ready to move up into the elevated blind and set this up for a real world shooting scenario. I think we're good to get on paper at 100 yards. So let's make those changes and we'll regroup here in just a second. So maybe that didn't seem like very long to you, but it's taken forever to get this shot set up. We are out at one of the food plots that we hunted last year. We've got a new target set up. You can see it right there. And we're going to try those Hornady FTX 290 grain Boredrivers and see what we can do at almost exactly 100 yards. Let me turn you around here and you can see where we're at. You can see the hunting blind, the elevated hunting blind right down there. Pretty good distance down there. I took a doe here last year, hoping to take 2 does this year, but we'll see how it works out. Let's get to it. So we moved up into our elevated hunting blind for this next test at 100 yards, real world shooting into the food plot where we hope to take a deer. We have switched from the 245 grain power belts to the 290 grain Hornady FTX Boredrivers. And we're going to see how they do at 100 yards. If you're interested at all in this hunting blind build, right now this is our most popular video on YouTube. We've got a complete series and a playlist of how we built this hunting blind, how we built this folding shooting table that goes in it. I'll put a link at the end of this video. You guys can check those videos out if you're interested and maybe build your own elevated hunting blind. All right, enough talk. Let's shoot. Well, it felt good. Let's go find out. Oh, I see it. Doesn't look too bad. Yep, pretty close. I'm going to make some minute adjustments on the Vortex Crossfire, and we'll try again. I'm happy with that, though. So we've made some adjustments to our windage and elevation. This will be shot number 2 on those Hornady Boredrivers at 100 yards. Also helps if you put your hearing protection on. Well, that's not good. Look at that. First shot right here. Second shot right here. What's up with that? Let's send one more down here. Shot number 3, Hornady Boredrivers, 290 grain. Made no adjustments to the optics. We're just going to try a complete repeat of that second shot and, see where it goes. And we'll make the long walk again. Wow, we are all over the place. Quick recap, this was our first shot, really happy about that. Our second shot, and this last, our third shot right there. So what is it? I'm not very knowledgeable about muzzle loaders. Is it time to clean the rifle? Is it just getting too fouled up? Are the Hornadys not the round for this rifle? I'm tempted to go back and try some of those 245 grain power belts and just see what they do. Let's try that. All right, we're dropping back to the 245 grain power belt bullets. I did run some extra patches through the barrel. It was pretty dirty, so I'm not sure if this test is going to be that conclusive, but let's send it down there and see what it looks like. Well, I felt good about it. Only one way to find out. Well, look at this. Right there. What that tells me, I think, is it's time to quit for the night. I'm going to go clean the rifle very well, and we'll come back out here tomorrow and we'll start this test all over again. So you guys, don't go anywhere. This is a great time to get a snack, go to the bathroom, whatever. We'll be right back. See ya. And just like that, it's the next day. We're back up in the blind, and like I said, we're going to try a couple of those 245 grain power belts and see if they group any better than those bore drivers did yesterday. So here we go. All right, we'll run a patch or two down the barrel. We'll try another shot. Let's go take a look. Look at that. Not on the bullseye. Doesn't get much better than that. Let's see if we can adjust that, our scope settings, and bring that down where we want it. That is a superb pattern right there. Great group. Maybe 5/8 of an inch at 100 yards. Let's see if that made a difference. Made some windage and elevation adjustments. One more. All right. What do we got here? One there, one there. Both of them in the black. Probably, oh, I'm going to call that 1.5 inches, maybe. Maybe this is a 1.5 inch diameter circle, so you know it may be a little closer than that, maybe 1.25 inches. Either way, I'm going to call that good. That's plenty accurate enough for what I'm going to be using it for. Now the big question is, do we clean the bore, and do we send one of those Hornadies down here? I think we should, just to satisfy our curiosity. Let's try one out. All right, back to the Hornadies, 290 grain FTX Boredrivers. Let's see where it lands down there. I'll tell you what, those Hornadies sure load a lot easier than those power belts. What do you think? Shot felt good. I see it. So what have we got? You can see these two touching. Remember, these were the first 2 rounds of the 245 grain power belts. Right here and here are the 245 grain power belts after we adjusted the scope, both of these in the black. And this last shot, the 290 grain Boredriver FTX, right below it, maybe 5/8 of an inch from one of those rounds of the power belts. So again, still a perfectly adequate way to take a whitetail deer. Nothing wrong with that. Is this proof that my rifle likes the power belts better than the Hornady's? No, I don't think so. As a matter of fact, if I wanted to do this right, I should probably put a few more of those Boredrivers down here on this target and see how they group. But that's going to be a subject for another day. Right now, I'm happy with the power belts. And truth be told, CVA recommends the 245 degree power belt as the bullet for my rifle. And for what I see here today, you know, I agree. That doesn't mean there's not a better one out there, but the one that they recommend is completely adequate for getting the job done. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. I need to get off this food plot. Opening day is just 5 weeks away. I don't want to be up here any more than I have to. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We are trying to grow the channel. Every little bit helps. Remember to get outside. It is gorgeous out here. Get outside, take a walk, you know, get out in the woods. It's good for you. You'll be a better person for it. I know you will. Remember to be nice to one another. I always say that because it's true. The world is a crazy place right now. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. Guys, I'm going to head to the house. I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for hanging with us. Y'all have a great week. See you soon.